Hi everyone, Massimo here from the BluRoot team. And today I want to talk about an exciting feature in the CRM that doesn't get talked about enough, and I don't see enough explanation online about it. And it's automating actions in your CRM based on your business hours. So traditionally, when you would automate an email or a task or a text, you could only do it 2 days later, 5 days later, whatever. Well, Zoho now has this really neat feature where you can actually tell it to do it based on business hours or business days. It really amps up the way you look to clients, where instead of emailing them at, say, 5 p.m. on a Saturday, asking them to give you some documentation back, you can now tell Zoho to wait till 5 p.m. on Monday, for example. So in this video, I'm going to go through how to set up your business hours and your business days, how to set up a workflow that triggers based on those business hours and business days. And then from there, we'll go into some of the benefits. Please like and comment and subscribe, the button below. Also, I host office hours multiple times a week. There will be a link in the description to join those. If you have questions, comments, concerns, feel free to join them. They're completely free. I love meeting people that are a fan of our YouTube channel and just have general Zoho questions, and we'll see you in the video. Cheers. All right, let's get into this. As I mentioned in the intro, there's some settings you have to do first in order to get this to work, right? And so the biggest one of which is setting up your business hours. So the way you'll know if you don't have business hours set up is you'll go into settings here, and then under company details is where you're actually going to do all of this. So you can see this is a page that has a lot of stuff that we've gone through in other videos, but one of the most important parts is the business hours for this one. So if you click that, you can see it has this tab here. So keep in mind as you're going through this, you can always hit this question mark. Zoho has great explainers on how to change a lot of this stuff. We're going to hit new business hours. And now you have some options here, right? So you could do 24/7, 24/5, or custom. I would recommend to start by 24/5 or by custom. 24/7, there's very few businesses that run off of that. But if I do custom, I'm going to say my week starts on Monday, right? And we'll say 9 to 5 every day. Now you could do different hours every day, and it allows you to tweak that, right? This is tweakable. It's very handy, but for the average business, it's 9 to 5. So let's just go ahead and hit save. But if you wanted to, you could go, okay, well, on Mondays we go to 6 and we start a bit earlier at 8 and whatever, right? So that's how you customize these hours. That's a really important thing. You have to set this up in order for this whole thing to work. So now you've set up your business hours and you've set up the start of your business week, right? Now what we're going to do is we're actually going to come in here. We're going to go to settings and we're going to make a workflow rule. So now I'm in this workflow rule editor. This probably looks familiar to all of you. We're going to hit deals and we're going to say testing deal. And so now one of the cool things is, for example, if you choose on date and time and you choose, for example, closing date, you could say here, right? So now it starts showing business days. Now you could do 1 business day before, 2 business days before, or you can go custom. So you can go custom and now you can do whatever you want. Business days after, business days before, you can do 1, 2, 5, 10. So that's a really handy feature inside of the on date and time criteria, right? Now, let's say you don't have a workflow that works for date and time. You could also do this. So you could go through here, you could hit all deals. And now on the scheduled action, you can also do this here, but it also has another fun thing, business hours. So since you set your hours here, you could actually go 3 hours and it's business hours. So if you have something at 4 p.m. on a Thursday, then what it'll do, if you start at 9 a.m. on Friday, it'll send it out at 11 a.m. on Friday. So 3 hours later, right? 3 business hours. So this is a really handy feature and it allows you to kind of target your customers in a better way. Traditionally, if you did 3 hours later and you triggered the workflow at 4 p.m., your client would get an email at 7 p.m. Maybe not the most relevant, maybe not the best fit, right? And so this is a really handy feature that we use all the time. When this feature came out, we went and changed all our automations internally so that it would go based on business hours, because we're in a B2B world and it just made more sense, right? So it depends on what type of world you're in. Sometimes B2C, it doesn't matter about the business hours, right? In B2B, it often does. You could do that and then you trigger workflows accordingly. I should also note that inside of here, you can technically do it, if it's a date and time field, you can technically do it business hours later as well. So I'd encourage you to use this field. The first step is to set up your business hours. If you don't have them set up and you already have all kinds of workflows, it's not going to break them. But when you go and set it up, you should come back to these workflows and just modify them for business hours. Please like and comment and subscribe. This is a very exciting feature that we love, and that it's kind of a hidden gem that Zoho has, and it really allows you to target your customers better. Once again, feel free to join my office hours. I'm always happy to meet clients, and have a good day.